Hi there. Today I will be sharing a personal experience with an audience of around 100 students and faculty members. Their language needs and ages have been taken into consideration when preparing this speech. In addition, I've taken into account their possible prior attitudes to the topics that will be discussed today. This will be crucial at A, connecting with the audience, and B, demonstrating why these topics discussed are relevant to them. Hi there, my name is Maria Montes, and I will be sharing my experience overcoming different sets of challenges I faced when starting a new job. I never saw myself as the kind of person who would commute an hour and a half to work each day, much less enjoying it. But that's what my life looks like today. I have a lot of my free time cut out for me, driving to and from work, and this is mainly the reason that it was easy to convince myself I had no extra time or energy to focus on my studies. Now, over time, I realized that school and graduating are necessary for me to achieve my long-term goals, even if they're not the most comfortable option today. Now, this transition began about 6 months ago. Before then, I had worked service, fast food, and retail jobs. When I was presented with this opportunity, it was everything I had ever wanted. As an accounting major, I was heavily intrigued by the fact that this position was accounting-based. After 2 months of intensive interview process, I finally got the job. Now, this environment was a lot different than what I was used to. It was far more professional, and the people I was working with were a lot older than I was, oftentimes old enough to be my parents or even my grandparents. Until then, I had been working with people my age whose goals looked a lot like mine, working while studying. I started to compare myself to my coworkers. Their responsibilities looked different than mine, and so did their goals. A lot of these people hadn't graduated college, and it made me question how much I valued college myself. If I was working with people who hadn't gone to college, was it really that important to put that much effort into it? As a result, I decided to take a gap semester. I figured it was only momentarily, and I would get back to school once I'd gotten back on my feet and gotten used to my new schedule. I was meeting a lot of new people at this job, but I still kept in touch with my high school friends. Now, this group of friends, they went to college straight out of high school, they dormed together freshman year, and they now have an apartment together a year later. I hung out with them and visited them regularly, and it was really tough not to compare myself to them. Academically, it seemed they were much farther ahead, having given their full time to this studying, and it was really tough not to feel behind. I realized that I was also feeling behind socially. I felt like it was too late for me to ever truly experience a real college life. And as time went on, I began to realize why those feelings were emerging. I realized that I was holding on to my comfort a little too strongly, and really, it was the only thing that was differentiating me from my friends. I came to terms with the fact that I was destined to be at school. It was what was necessary for me to achieve my long-term goals, and if I wanted to be the version of myself I'd always dreamed of, I needed to put that comfort aside. So that's exactly what I did. I now work full-time and at the moment go to school part-time. It's definitely not comfortable, but it's what I need to achieve my long-term goals. And I will note that people change. People, their goals, they evolve as time goes on, and I can't know what the future holds. I don't know if my future goals will look different than my current ones, but I do know that challenging myself is never going to be something I'll regret. Putting myself out there will make me stronger, better, and more able to adapt to any future challenges I might face. My life looks a lot different than it did a year ago. And this is all thanks to my ability of putting my comfort and my fear of change to the side and facing any possible risks head on. I urge you to take a look at your life. See if there is any attributes of yours that resemble any that I may have mentioned today. Maybe there is an aspect of your life where you're feeling a bit too comfortable. Maybe there's a risk you've considered taking and just never really found yourself doing. I urge you to try and take a risk. It doesn't have to be big, but you never know when comfort is the one thing keeping you back from the life you know you could live. Thank you.